Hello and welcome to Meet Me in Tennessee. I'm your host, Allie, and this podcast is sponsored by the Northeast Tennessee Tourism Association. You can find us online and on all social media. And this podcast is produced in downtown Johnson City by Maypop Media. And today we're sitting down with Courtney Bean, Main Street Director with Main Street Elizabethton and the City of Elizabethton. Courtney, can you please share with our listeners a little about your organization and your role? At the city.
Yeah. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Excited to be here. So Main Street Elizabethton, we have been an organization for about 4.5 years. So it'll be 5 years in October. And Main Street is a national program. So hopefully our listeners have heard of it.
Yeah.
But there's thousands of programs across the country. There's about 40 or so across the state of Tennessee. And Main Streets are all about working with the community and revitalizing your downtown.
Yeah.
And so our program, again, has been in existence for about 4.5 years. I am a city employee, which is really wonderful. And about 6 years ago, our community said, we love our downtown, but we feel like we need something more. We need a direction. We need, a mission. We need to really have kind of a unified growth for and a vision for our downtown. So there was a whole steering committee and trying to figure out the right path when they landed on Main Street. And here we are.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I think our Main Street programs are so crucial, especially to like our rural areas.
Yes.
And revitalizing those downtowns. And when we think about the growth and the vision, I think y'all kind of hold the city accountable to continue that pursuit.
Yeah, it's a really great relationship. And again, because I'm a city employee, it makes it a little bit more unique. A lot of Main Streets are moving in that direction, but a lot of times Main Street, the entities can be their own nonprofit. And so it can be hard to have a relationship with the city or what that looks like. So we're in a really unique position. And again, where Main Streets are headed, where I am a city employee. We have councilmen that sit on the Main Street board that are very passionate about our downtown.
Yeah.
And there's a constant dialogue there. And I think that, so we have these Main Street committees. It's very community oriented and very community driven.
Sure.
And what's really cool is that, Main Street, we're not passing the ordinances or, our city council are our city leaders.
Yeah.
But they really do look to our Main Street program for advice on that and guidance. And so it's been really great to have that relationship. There's been a few instances where our council has said, hey, Main Street, can you do some research on this and see how the community's feeling or how downtown merchants are feeling? And so we've done different studies and different things to kind of report back on this is the direction that we recommend or things like that. So that's been a really great relationship.
Sure.
So that we can, move our downtown forward.
Yeah, that is a cool perspective to think that some Main Street entities are kind of standalone, but y'all get to work with those city leaders to make those visions come to fruition.
Yeah.
And there's so many projects and things that y'all do for the community.
Yeah. It's a lot.
A ton.
It's so good, but it's a lot.
For our listeners, just Main Street's been so busy. Courtney does a wonderful job.
It's a team effort. There's a lot of people behind the scenes.
For sure. But y'all just have a new mural.
We have a new mural. We are so excited about this.
Yeah.
So this is a perfect relationship to showcase kind of the Main Street and the city relationship. So the arts are important in our community, and we have a lot of art in Elizabethton, but we haven't necessarily done, again, like a unified job of elevating that.
Sure.
There have been efforts here and there, and I think the Elizabethton Alliance, what's the official name? The Elizabethton
Arts and Cultural
Alliance.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. The Eliz Alliance is what most people call it. But they have been around for a while, and they've done an incredible job of elevating those arts. But again, connecting with, Main Street and the Chamber and the city and really, using all our efforts together.
Your downtown business owners.
Exactly. So, murals, you see a lot of murals everywhere, but we haven't had a professional mural artist come to our downtown.
Yeah.
We have murals in our downtown inside and there's one on a building by the Tweetsie Trail, and they are lovely, and we love them. But we wanted kind of like one big, pop of a professional mural artist. So this was driven by Main Street. It's been a goal of Main Street for a while. And then working with the city, we applied for a Tennessee Arts Commission grant. And it's amazing that they have those opportunities.
Yeah.
And so we received the grant and we were able to then find the right artist, and we put out a public call and found the right artist. And Ernesto Morange, it's incredible. He's an international mural artist. They live in Miami, but they also did a mural in Johnson City, and they love this area. They were so excited to come back.
I wondered if he was doing both of those because I see the similar style.
Yes. So he did the fire station mural here in Johnson City.
It's a beautiful one also. The black bear.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And I think there's like a giant hummingbird on there as well. So flora and fauna is his thing, which was perfect because we wanted to highlight like Appalachian native species. And so there was a whole selection committee, and we found him, and it was amazing. And he just finished yesterday, and it is like so exciting.
I saw it on Instagram pop up, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, it looks so good.
Yeah.
And like when you come in, it's on Sycamore. And what's really cool is the location. So it's on E Street, which if anyone's familiar with our downtown, or if, when you come downtown, we have a pretty long downtown district, but our main street that most people think of isn't actually called Main Street. It's East Elk Avenue. And we have these canopies, and that's where most people think of like traditionally downtown is East Elk Avenue. But our downtown is larger than East Elk Avenue. And there's an East Street, and East Street has our library. It has, there's like an outdoor store for like a gun and fishing store. There's a tattoo place. There's a bike rental place. I mean, there's actually, it used to be like the Ford Motor Company, and now it's Tennessee Auto Sales, but they have a lot of like preserved history from from when Ford owned the building. So there's a lot of full history on East Street. And anyway, so it's cool to put this mural on East Street to kind of show a little bit of love. And then it's right across from our public library, which is really cool. And on the back end of Hellbender, which is our outdoor recreation store.
I love that.
Perfect.
Elizabethton just has so much exciting growth happening right now. It's like which direction to go in.
I know.
Outdoors, history.
Yes.
Landmarks, central.
Yes.
Festivals.
Yes.
Can we transition a little bit
All of it.
into the festivals?
Yeah. We have a lot of stuff going on. So summer and fall are busy. So this is kind of our planning period right now, but summer and fall are really busy. So starting in May, we will kick off our First Fridays. Yay. And it's so fun. Yes. First Fridays are so fun. So this is a partnership with Main Street, our public library, as well as tourism, like our Carter County Tourism.
Yeah, awesome.
And then it's all about engagement and exposure of our downtown. And so our merchants come out on the sidewalks, they do something fun and engaging to really showcase their shop. But also to really just provide some fun opportunities for the community. So we have live music throughout the streets. Each month has a different theme, and it's really fun to we're working with the merchants now, and everyone's coming up with these fun, creative ideas. So like May will be like a summer vibes. It's all about the vibe.
Oh,
so May will be summer vibes, which is fun. So we're kicking off the summer. So that's super great. We have like, inflatables, and people are talking chalk and beach balls. And
I lived in Elizabethton for a span growing up.
Yeah.
And there's always something going on downtown, like with your merchants, like you said, they're so active and participating with like decorating their storefronts or the scarecrow challenge and activities like that. I just feel like there is this art renaissance happening, and it's growing in a more modern way. But also when I'm in downtown Elizabethton, it takes me back in time. I can feel the history.
Yes.
And I almost feel like I'm like in the 60s with all the old cars and the preserved buildings.
So our downtown tagline is old soul, new stories. Isn't that fun?
Segue.
Because it is. Well, and because it's so great, because there is that nostalgic feel, but also we are looking to the future. We are looking forward, and so it's about the old soul, the feeling of downtown. So it doesn't mean that you have to be older or that you have to be from Elizabethton, but it's that old soul feeling of, we have music piping in underneath our canopies. We have some really great antique stores in our downtown.
Yes, wonderful antique stores.
But we also have some great boutiques, and we have, Riverside Tap House, and we have Appalachian Sun Brewery just right down the street. And so it's great to kind of, again, it's the old soul, but we're also creating new stories. And
Yes.
so you're creating new stories, when you come downtown, but also, maybe you're biking on the Tweetsea and then you pop into downtown and get
Yeah, you've
ice
got the
cream from Sweetsy
outdoors.
Treats or coffee company, lunch or a treat, or, go visit the covered bridge. And so old soul new stories, it's perfect that you said that.
I
'cause
love
that's our-
Elizabethton.
yeah.
And while we're thinking about old soul news stories,
Mhm.
you recently did a collaboration with Maypop
did.
Media. Can you
Yes.
share that with our listeners?
Yes.
What that's about and maybe where they could find a screening online?
Yes. So with Old Soul News Stories, we wanted to launch this tagline. We were trying to figure out, how do we launch this tagline? So we wanted to do it through showcasing community stories.
Yeah.
And so we partnered with Maypop Media, and it was an incredible experience. Shout out to Marissa and Mitch.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And so we captured 7 different stories from the community, and they were all different stories, and it was capturing their old soul news story relationship with downtown, might be the best way to say it. So it's a 45-minute film. You can watch it on YouTube. So you can go to the Maypop Media YouTube, or you can go to Main Street Elizabethton.com, and it's right there on our homepage. And it's beautiful to hear the stories. And I think even if you aren't from Elizabethton, it's neat to hear about the history, kind of see the variety of people and their different experiences of what old soul meant to them.
Yeah.
And also the variety of what new stories is looking like to them. And so it's really beautiful.
It is beautiful. Y'all should really check it out. It's 45 minutes and it really just captures this story that was waiting to be told.
Yeah.
And I remember when you first started talking about doing the project, we were at a brainstorm session
we love our brainstorm sessions.
A while ago, and you were talking about, I have this idea, and it's so cool to just see it come to life.
I mean, it was a year,
good job.
Potentially a year plus in the making. It was a lot of planning, but also it's been really beautiful because we were working on it for so long. A lot of our community was engaged from the beginning, and we did a call out to our Main Street members and to our community of, does anyone want to share their story? And then having community members share, you should really talk to this person because they have a beautiful story. I mean, there were so many people, we weren't able to obviously capture all the stories, but we're already thinking about other ways that we can continue, because that was the kickoff, the launch of the tagline. But obviously, Old Soul News Stories is our tagline now. So how do we continue to showcase that?
Absolutely. I love that whole project. I think it was a great job to see that through. And when we're thinking about this history and the landmarks, and there are some old buildings and some firsts in Elizabethton, can you share some of those landmarks and places that visitors absolutely have to see when they come to Elizabethton?
Yes. Yeah. History and heritage is huge in our community. And so specifically in downtown, I'll kind of work down.
Sure.
I want to make sure that I hit them.
Because there's a lot.
There's a lot. So we have actually a good number of veteran landmarks, which is really neat and I think unique for our community. And so we have a Veterans Memorial, we have a Veterans Walk of Honor, and we have a Veterans Monument. And they all serve different purposes. And they're really beautiful landmarks in our downtown, but also places to honor our veterans. And the Veterans Memorial is this place kind of, it's in downtown, but it's kind of offset. You kind of feel it feels a little bit more private when you're in it. And it's honoring those that have passed from Carter County that are veterans. Okay. And then our Walk of Honor is just any veteran from Carter County. And so it's neat because a lot of people will say, oh, my cousin's up there, my dad's up there, my sister, and so that's really neat that we have that part of our community. But again, it's also just honoring those who have served from Carter County. And then the Veterans Monument is just honoring all veterans of all wars. And so it's it's a giant monument in our downtown. So it's really kind of a landmark for our downtown. So that's neat that we're honoring the veterans in that way. And then we also have, more history focused. We have our the covered bridge.
Yeah. What is the cover? Imagine, I'm here for the first time, and what on earth is the covered bridge?
What on earth is the covered bridge?
Why would I go there?
So the covered bridge is 142 years old, 43. I think she's 142.
It's old.
She's old, so her
And she's
nickname is
beautiful.
the Queen of the Doe because she's over the Doe River. And so this was really, there's a lot of history that I probably will not be able to recite perfectly, but the covered bridge is a really important bridge in the 1800s because it allowed the community to cross over to the river. So when the community was first developing, the majority of it was on one side of the river. And so building that bridge really allowed a lot of expansion, which is wonderful. And the Doe River is a really important part of the growth of our community.
Yeah.
And so right there, the covered bridge is also the sycamore tree where the Watauga Association created like the first form of government.
Yes.
There's a lot of Sycamore Shoals State Park has an entire dedication to that story as well as reenactments with Liberty.
Yeah, so that's absolutely something y'all should check out. The first written constitutional governments west of the Appalachian Mountains, right there by the covered bridge.
Right there in Carter County.
In Carter County, yes. Lots of history and heritage right in this area. Not to mention, we'll expand just a little bit, Sycamore Shoals Park.
Yes, outside the downtown district, but so close. And that's what's so great about our community is that, we have a lot of amazing things outside of downtown. While Main Street's focus is downtown, we want you to go to Roan Mountain and to go to Laurel Falls and to go to Blue Hole and explore our beautiful outdoor recreation and also go to Sycamore Shoals. So Liberty is a reenactment that's starting in June. They do it every year.
Awesome.
And it is, it's like every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in June. You can purchase tickets and it's it's retelling the story of the history within our community, but also the history of our country. And so it's a lot happened here. And it's amazing that we have that resource here to capture that and to share that story.
Absolutely.
And they do incredible stuff at Sycamore Shoals.
Yeah, and that's a state park, so it's kind of cool to combine the history and the outdoors.
Yes.
And I think that's kind of Elizabethton,
That is Elizabethton, yes. There's the Watauga River flows right through, which obviously there's stories with, where they had to like cross the river, the Over Mountain Men, yes.
So many stories.
Yes. But also, when you're walking on the trails at Sycamore Shoals, you might see people fly fishing or
kayaking or paddleboarding.
Yes. I actually saw a deer the last time I was at Sycamore Shoals walking on the trail. So
and it's very family friendly. There's tennis courts and lots of outdoor recreational opportunities.
Yes.
And then you go further up north on the Doe River and you have class for whitewater kayakers. I mean, so you have the extreme also, but it's very family friendly throughout town.
Yes. It's, again, I represent our downtown, but we really are a larger community and it's incredible. Like our region is so fortunate to have all of these outdoor features and so many of them are in Carter County, which is so cool.
Yeah.
And so you have the whitewater rafting, you have the hiking, you have the biking. The Tweetsie Trail runs right through downtown Elizabethton, which is super cool. And then Carter County is actually expanding it to go further up into the mountains. And it's neat to think of all the projects that are happening where we are now and where we're headed. And it's just incredible.
And even to look back and reflect on where you've been.
Yes.
And then one more thing on the history I wanted to throw in there, because I kind of learned this recently. Elizabethton is home to the oldest building in the state of Tennessee. The Carter Mansion.
The Carter Mansion.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is new news to me.
Okay, so Sycamore Shoals manages that as well.
Okay.
And there's also Sabine Hill, which has some rich history as well. And so they actually do like Carter Mansion tours. Yes, there's a lot of history. I think
so much history.
Even I think it's a debate between the Carter Mansion and Rocky
Fork?
Yes.
Okay.
Of who had the first glass pane windows in the state of Tennessee.
Really?
So I think that might be like a little battle, but that's kind of fun, you know?
No,
because there's so much history. I mean, you think about Jonesboro and like the oldest town in Tennessee and but it's the first oldest established town. I mean, there's all of these. There's so much history here.
I love to see the pride of people like fighting over stuff like that.
I know.
Because it's a fun fight. Like we're fighting to be the best,
Yes.
We want to showcase our Appalachian history. That's wonderful.
I will. So we're actually working on another mural right now, and this one is called the History in the Making, and it's these 6 panels And it's a community mural that we're working with community members. We have about 15 or so community members, and we're working with a local artist. And our community members are actually, they're deciding what art is going on the mural, but it's all about the history of Elizabethton.
Cool.
And so it's been really, really neat working with our library and our archivists to learn more of the history.
Yes.
Our water resources department, Jonathan Pleasant, he has a degree in history and he just loves history, but he's our water resources director. And so we've been working again with from third grade to adults, like a range of community members. And we've been going through the history of the community, and it's just been really, there's so much and it's so rich and it's hard to even capture it all, you know, and even, so that mural will go up in May, and that will also be in our downtown district. So when you come downtown, you can, and we'll have little plaques kind of explaining a little bit more, but it's going to touch on things like the covered bridge and Carter Mansion and, the importance of the Doe River and the Watauga and Sycamore Shoals and things like that. So it's really cool.
And that's such a crucial part of telling our story.
It is.
Think of the Over Mountain Men and the strife that they went through with no roads or pathways, just roughing it over these mountains.
Exactly.
I think that's beautiful. I was not a history buff growing up.
Me neither.
And now I love, coming into tourism and regionalism. It's you're learning the story in a more hands-on way through the museums. We actually spoke with Hands-On Museum talking about the importance of education and how when you're making it fun, through murals and visuals, that telling that story in that light, I think appeals to a different audience. It makes it more
engaging and it kind of, captures people where they are too. Yeah. Which is really great. We also shout out to our Carter County Tourism because they have a walking tour. And the walking tour has a lot of these features on the tour with facts. And they're even revamping it to make it more accessible and kind of
very cool.
Yeah. A little bit. Just, sometimes things just need a little refresh. And so hopefully that will be rolling out soon, which is really exciting.
That's very exciting.
They still have the current walking tour, but then they're coming out with a new one. So.
Yeah, that's exciting. So that'll include the murals. And does that go on the covered bridge as well?
Yeah, so it covers the covered bridge, the sycamore tree. There's a building that is currently a law office that used to be a tavern that I will say rumored. That the last street that Andrew Johnson had before he passed away up in Roan Mountain. Oh, there's a lot of
we got some presidential history.
Yes.
His cemetery's in Greenville.
It is, yes.
And there is now the Bluff City Museum is going to be opening here soon, I think this summer, and they have a lot of Andrew Johnson family memorabilia as well.
Really?
So his family was just everywhere through Northeast Tennessee.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's super cool. So Courtney, how do you think that organizations like Main Street help to unite that sense of community?
Yes. So I think, and with Main Street, we did a lot of research and data and community feedback to really figure out what our vision is, what our mission is.
Yeah.
And so I think that helps because we have, we create a work plan every year and we share that with our members and our downtown businesses and anyone that wants to be involved so that we have this unified growth and we're going in this direction. And within our Main Street program, we're trying to highlight our outdoor recreation features and connecting those with downtown as well as being an active and vibrant downtown district.
Yeah.
And so what I think is really great is Main Street is able to tell the story of our community and our merchants and our history and our outdoors in a unified way. And working with, we work with a lot of different community partners. And so it's not, it's not just Courtney, it's not just Main Street. We're working with Parks and Rec, we're working with our chamber, with tourism, with our library. Yeah. And we're all working together to elevate our community for our tourists, for our visitors, and also for our locals. And so I think that Main Street is able to tell the story of the community, both in, anywhere from new businesses coming in. So we have a ribbon cutting today for a new business coming into downtown, telling the story of we have this beautiful new mural and why we chose it and the content and that it's highlighting our native species and, but also down to, we have some grants that we have in our community that we've received from either the state or our city council that our businesses can elevate their buildings and they're like facade grants to improve their space so that we can continue to beautify downtown. And so it's, Main Street, we're able to tell that story from new businesses to events to murals to restoration projects and
for sure
all the festivals going on and events and things like that. So
and so what I'm hearing is you're just kind of like this middle women who are kind of bringing in all these different entities, the leaders, the folks with the stories, and you're helping to elevate, which I like that word that keeps coming up.
I use the word elevate a lot.
It's a good word.
I use it a lot. And we also like a connection or a conduit is what I talk about a lot. Is that
good.
Our community a lot. I mean, we've had people visit, and our locals have enjoyed our community for a long time, but maybe it's not this unified vision or message. And so it's been nice to kind of, again, like be that conduit and that connection.
Almost like a moderator. Yeah.
Exactly. To really showcase and highlight this is our downtown, this is our community, and this is what you can experience when you come here.
And it benefits everybody.
Exactly.
When we come together. And
exactly.
I think that's just like a message that I keep seeing from town to town is, when we all come together and we act as stewards of our community, then guests and visitors from all around can feel that when they come here.
Absolutely.
And it makes them want to learn more.
Absolutely.
What is this Appalachian value, What is this heritage going on?
I will say, so Ernesto and his wife, Hillary, so they're from Florida, but this is the second mural that they painted in this region. And they're like, everyone is just so nice here. Everyone's just so nice. And everyone was coming up. And I think the mural in Johnson City, because it was on a busier road, they received a lot more honks and waves.
Yeah.
But because it was actually connected to a public parking lot, they were like, a lot of people were stopping by and asking us questions and talking to us. And so they were like, we just are blown away by the friendliness of this community.
It's a photo opportunity.
I know. I know.
But I love that. Back to the mural, I love the native appeal because when I looked at it, I haven't seen it in person yet and I can't wait. But it did speak Appalachian, mountains, plants, animals.
Yes. Yes.
That's so important when we're telling our story.
It's so
stay
important.
True. Yeah.
Because we have this beautiful place that we're able to call home. And not everyone is able to call it home. And so that's why, we want them to come and visit and experience it.
But feel that sense of home when you're here.
Yes. And to be able to highlight that, highlighting both our our native species and our diverse ecosystem, but also elevating the arts at the same time. Like it's just this beautiful double fold. We love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, of course.
It's so special.
I know. And we're still like on that mural because it just finished yesterday. Yeah. So it's it's still so exciting.
Come see the mural.
Take and then we'll have another one in our downtown in just a few months.
Yeah.
The community mural, they're currently painting it right now on panels and then it'll be installed. We'll have a ribbon cutting in June, but at our first Friday in June, which is artsy vibes. But it should be completed around May.
Yeah. And there's just so much going on right now. New restaurants, new stores and shops.
Yes.
Courtney mentioned the boutique shop. There's art shops. There's, Hellbender Outfitters, August Muse. Just so much going on.
There's so much going on. And it's fun. Pedals on Rails, they're a seasonal business in our downtown. So they do bike rentals for e-bikes and cruisers. And they've got, what's the word
tandem?
I'm looking for? I don't know if they have tandem, you can pull a dog or a child. A trailer.
Yeah,
thank you.
Trailer,
Words are hard.
I love this game.
Yes, okay. It's it's charades. So, but they also, they opened up just 2 weeks ago. So they're open for the season and they'll be open to October and they're open Friday and Saturday and then Sunday for reservations.
That's wonderful.
Yes. And if you're local, they do bike repairs.
No way.
And so it's great because they can really reach people where they are. So if you're visiting and you're a tourist, maybe you want an e-bike and you want to bike all the way from downtown Elizabethton to downtown Johnson City, which is 10 miles.
And it's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
And it's really for any skill, any age level.
Yes.
It's not intimidating. It's a wide trail. It's gravel. There is a little elevation depending on which way,
which is why you can get an e-bike. So if you start in Elizabethton and you go to Johnson City, it is slightly uphill. But it's very doable.
Yeah, for
Very
sure.
doable. And then you get to cruise back down.
Yep. And it's like motivation because you have food on both ends.
You do.
So you can pedal to ice cream, you can pedal to shopping.
Yes.
I mean, it's cool to come right into town and be
It
able
is.
to hang out for a little bit.
You can go to you can start your day. Here's an itinerary.
Here we go.
Here we go. You start your day at the coffee company, grab some locally roasted coffee, which is roasted right across the street. Locally roasted coffee, grab some great breakfast, then make a reservation.
Pedals on Rails.
Which is right by the coffee company. I mean, our downtown is very walkable.
Yeah. You can see the mural while you're down there.
See the mural while you're down there, while you're drinking your coffee. Yes, just do a little loop. Bike to Johnson City.
Yeah.
Enjoy the Tweetsie Trail. There's some beautiful mountain views on the Tweetsie.
Gorgeous.
Then grab some lunch, maybe a drink here in JC. Downtown supporting downtowns.
Yep. And I know Local Motion just opened up a brew pub at the very end of the trail. So there's a little motivation as well.
Perfect. Perfect. And then after you've had maybe, a beer or two, then you just hop back on your e-bike and just cruise downhill back to Elizabethton.
Yeah.
And then check out our shops, maybe grab some dinner, grab
listen to some music.
Tap house. That's right.
It's a Friday.
If it's a Friday.
First
and
Friday.
Jiggy Ray's Pizzeria makes amazing scratch-made pizza. And they have music every single weekend.
Yeah.
And Riverside Tap House has a wonderful back patio. And again, Appalachian Sun is just right down the street. It's all very walkable.
You can throw a picnic blanket at the covered bridge. I mean, we really we love where we live.
We do. Can you tell? Can you tell? Yes, we love it.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. I think that itinerary sounds wonderful.
We just made everybody's plans
on the spot
for the weekends. It's fun.
Any farmers markets or spring happenings coming up?
Yeah. So the Elizabethton Farmers Market, that begins in June until September. Well, like end of August.
Okay.
And so that's on Tuesday evening.
Okay. So we're a little early, but I'm just so excited for farmers market season.
I know. I saw that the ETSU Farmers Market I think it was yesterday.
Yep.
So it's exciting. So the Elizabethton Farmers Market kicks off in June.
Okay.
But our first Fridays are May, June, July, and August here the first Friday of every month. And we have our Firefly 5K.
Yeah.
So that's July 5th.
Awesome.
It's always the first Friday in July, and it's always interesting to see when it's going to fall with 4th of July. So this year it's the day after 4th of July. But I know a lot of people travel during that weekend. And so registration will open up next week, April 26th.
Awesome.
So the registration will be open.
Where can folks find that information?
Main Street Elizabethton.com is the best place, or on our Facebook or Instagram, which is just at Downtown Elizabethton.
And it's a 5K. Where does it go through town?
First of all, you get to go through the covered bridge twice.
What?
Twice. So it kicks off in Covered Bridge Park.
Okay.
And it goes around. You get to go through the covered bridge once. Then you go on the Tweetsie Trail, which is a beautiful run because it's that like thin gravel. It's a great run.
Yeah.
And then you get to end it by coming through downtown on Elk Avenue, right around sunset. And then you get to end by going through the covered bridge. I mean, it's a night race. It kicks off at 8 p.m.
Fun.
It's so fun because we joke that we've trained the fireflies to come out right around 9 o'clock, right when everyone's finishing and celebrating. It's like the fireflies just like come in and the park, and it's really beautiful.
That's so cool.
And we're going to have live music. There's going to be an after party. It's going to be really fun. So registration will open on the 26th.
Okay.
So everyone make their plans.
Yeah.
Get your campsites booked.
For sure.
Your Airbnbs booked.
Come camping and run among the fireflies. Yeah. Or if you're like myself, you might call them lightning bugs.
That's true. I did grow up calling them lightning bugs. Yeah.
But that's exciting.
But the lightning bug 5K just doesn't have the same.
No, it doesn't. It
ring to it.
Yeah. We had this similar discussion with Greenville because they're also doing the Firefly partnership with the Cherokee National Forest.
With the synchronized
They're going to do the synchronized lottery.
Awesome.
So, yeah, it's truly special this area
to
come out and just have like the soft green grass this time of year and the lightning bugs, fireflies coming out.
It's Firefly
magical.
season, lightning bug season is one of my favorite.
Mine too.
Because even in our backyard here in the city, it's like, they're beautiful.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Oh,
I love it. Yeah. And our Firefly 5K falls on first Friday.
perfect.
There's a lot of alliteration, so I had to think it out. But so if you're coming out, then you have activities. There's food trucks. We have our local restaurants. There's really fun stuff. That theme is adventure vibes.
Ooh.
So there'll be all sorts of stuff going on around downtown.
So you definitely want to
run the
book a
5K.
camping spot or
That's right.
Yeah.
July 5th.
Okay. Y'all heard it.
You heard it here first.
Awesome. We're gonna switch it up a little bit. We're gonna get a little personal, Courtney.
Oh, okay.
What are some favorite road trip songs that you like to jam out to when you're spending a long day on the road? Going to a new place.
A new place.
Yeah.
Okay, so this isn't like a shameless plug, but because this is real information. But my brother is a musician. Did you know this?
No, I didn't.
So my brother's a musician, and I love his music. So he's playing at Bonnaroo again this year.
What?
He sold out Red Rocks last year. We got to go see him. So Goth Babe is his name. Griffin Washburn.
Oh.
But Goth Babe. So I love a Goth Babe. It sounds a little bit more hardcore than it is. It's really like a surfer, summery, kind of like fun, like chill, but with like a little pop.
It's
vibe.
a Goth Babe?
No, it's just Goth Babe.
Goth Babe. I'm going to have to look that up. I like some summer, like tropical tunes.
Super fun. It's super fun. You should add it, Mitch. You should add it into this podcast. He's legit. Yeah. He's coming to Asheville in September.
Oh. And he's playing at Bonnaroo. How fun.
He's playing at Bonnaroo again.
I
this
did
is
not
the second
know that.
time at Bonnaroo. Yeah.
That's so
cool.
cool.
He's playing Red Rocks again this year, too. Yeah.
As soon as I leave this place, I will go search up Goth Babe.
Yes. It's super fun.
So you are, actually, let's do this one. What is one thing that you cannot live without when you're traveling?
Thing I can't live without in travel. That's a really good question.
It's like that whole, like your one item that you would take. Like for me, it's my Carmex.
I want to say my water bottle.
That's a good one.
My emotional support water bottle.
Just your Stanley, or do you have any other?
I have multiples.
Yeah.
This is a good one because it like is leak proof and you can travel easily with it. Shirley, show it on the camera. This is not sponsored.
This is not sponsored.
But I will say that I am like really sensitive to light. So I also bring an eye mask with me when I travel. So I don't sleep with an eye mask when I'm at home, but when I travel, you just never know.
No, for sure.
The light situation.
I know some people like to do the earplugs because it can be like if you're going to Nashville or something, it can be a little
bit louder. I do also sleep with a noise machine. So,
but here in Northeast Tennessee, it's pretty quiet.
It's pretty laid back and pretty amazing. And then you just hear, like, especially up in the summer, like the cicada sounds. It's like so peaceful.
Yeah, and the frogs at the pond.
It's so peaceful.
Okay. And then you're in downtown Elizabethton. You're just bopping around.
Yeah.
And you have 1 hour left before you have to head home, and you live out of state.
You're going to put me on the spot on who to visit, aren't you?
In a roundabout way.
Okay.
That did cross my mind.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. Please ask your question. I'm sorry
you
to
have 1 hour left, and you're about to, you've already, you've eaten for the day, you've shopped, and you've done your things.
Okay.
How do you spend your last hour? Before you have to go back home?
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
I would probably, so we're not shopping and we're not dining, which is helpful because we have amazing businesses in our downtown. You've shopped and you've done. Really hard to pick.
You've supported all the wonderful, yes.
I would probably walk through the Tweetsy Trail, and we also have an Elizabethton linear trail. So you get to walk through the covered bridge, but then also walk along the Doe River and the Watauga, and it's just really beautiful. And
just taking a little bit of nature.
That's what I would do. Yeah, especially if it's a beautiful day. And what's great is that, if you're walking on the Tweetsy, again, our downtown runs right through. Well, the Tweetsy runs right through our downtown. Yeah. So then you could even do a little detour in downtown, look at the covered bridge, and then pop back on the Tweetsy. So and do a little loop.
For sure. There's just so many cool things to do.
Yeah.
Again, thank you so much for all your work and your team's work and all the partners involved for making Main Street Elizabethton a success and continuing to grow.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure.
We get a lot of tourists in our downtown, and we're continuing to see more, and our community loves it. We love when people visit.
Yeah.
We love when they get to experience what we have to offer and what we can showcase, and we encourage everyone to come out and find their own old soul new stories in our downtown.
Yeah. And where can folks learn more about Main Street Elizabethton?
Yeah, so you can go to mainstreetelizabethton.com.
Okay.
We share a lot on our socials. So on Facebook and on Instagram, it's at Downtown Elizabethton. And especially, we try to, on our stories, share what businesses are doing that day or new items that they have or what they're featuring, as well as the events. And on our website, we have an event calendar where you can look, maybe you're trying to plan a trip and figure out exactly what you want to work around and what you want to come to and all of that stuff. So, we encourage people to check it out.
Yeah, and I was just browsing the website, and I will say it's very user-friendly. And like Courtney said, if you want to do history or outdoors, it's really navigable, is that the word? To click and kind of plan your trip. So definitely recommend that as a resource. And again, I appreciate all you do and your passion that you share with the community.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, thanks for being here. And for upcoming events and happenings in Northeast Tennessee, be sure to follow us on all the socials and check out our website at northeasttennessee.org, where there's more up here to do, see, and be when you meet me in Tennessee. Thanks for tuning in.